Hey guys, just a lay day here in beautiful Tyree, as you can see, and I'm going to be talking to you about board setups, wave board setups. So I'm going to be going through a sort of typical wave board as we got here, with 5 fin boxes, so we can have various setups. Many brands use this sort of thing nowadays. We're also going to be looking at the UJ position as well. So a lot of people get confused with positioning for the UJ, especially for wave sailing. So I'm just going to talk you through that. So the easiest option is to have it right bang in the middle. You can't really go wrong, and the brands design the boards using that position normally. So that's pretty easy. Having said that, you can move it forwards and backwards, and that can change the board quite a lot. So if you want your board to turn tighter and be a little bit looser on the waves, and can actually also get you playing a bit easier, you can move the UJ towards the back of the board, just a little bit, and that's going to make a big difference. And again, if you want to have a little bit more control when it's really windy and really choppy, then moving the UJ a little bit more forwards is going to keep the nose of the board down and have you nice and controlled. We looked at the UJ, now we're going to look at the fins, which is the second thing that you can change on your board. Same again with the UJ actually. If you put your fins right bang in the middle of the fin boxes, you're pretty much not going to go wrong. Move all your fins towards the front of the board in the box. That's going to make the board turn really tight, and also it's going to, on the top turn, make your turns really nice and slidey. The downside to this is your upwind ability can be a bit affected by this. Moving all your fins towards the back of the board, the main benefit you will notice is that the board goes faster, it goes upwind easier, and you have a lot more grip on the wave, so it's harder to turn, but you've got a lot of grip on that turn, so it's not really going to slide out. If you put your fins closer towards each other, so if I move this one right here, the distance here is pretty much only a finger, so they're very close together, and what that's going to do is, again, it's going to make the board turn really tight, because it's almost as like a pivot there, so the board's going to turn really tight, and that it's going to just loosen up the board pretty much. On the other hand, you can put your fins really far apart, right at the back, one right at the front, and that distance between the fins is really far, and that means you're going to have a load of grip on the wave, or just on the surface of the water if it's really choppy. So how can you work out the best fin position for your style and your needs? So what I would do is start with your fins bang in the middle of the boxes, and then I would play around a little bit. So I would do like the extremes, so I would put it right to the back and see what that does, so you really get the feeling of what that does to the board, and or move them really close together and really get the feeling of what that does. And I think that's going to make you understand where you want to put your fins better. So an example of like how I did this was in Tenerife. I found a setup that was quite good, which in fact was the back fins were more or less in the middle, and the fronts were a little bit towards the back, so in the onshore conditions I could turn a little bit tighter and get a little bit more like spray and slide off the top. And then I went to a different spot which was more cross-shore down the line, and I felt it just wasn't really working to the conditions. So what I did was I just played around. I just moved this fin, the front fin, a little bit less than a centimetre forwards, and that gave me a little bit more grip on those down the line conditions, and it worked a treat. So big tip I would say is mark them with a pen or something, or just go with your phone and take a little quick snap, and then you've got it forever. You don't have to worry about it.